Hello everyone, I'm Myron McCartney. We are celebrating Emancipation Day here in Nassau. The day, of course, when slavery came to an end throughout the British Empire, which had previously existed in our islands for well over 200 years. Many of us don't realize that the road to emancipation didn't just happen overnight, but rather took some 70 years before abolition laws were finally introduced by British Parliament and implemented in its colonies, which included the Bahamas, as well as other parts of the Caribbean throughout that time. This was, of course, due to a collaboration of efforts and humanitarian drive by persons of diverse backgrounds, which included the Quakers, evangelists, free Africans living in Britain. These groups would form various abolition groups as part of the anti-slavery movement that saw its share of heroes, such as Oladula Equiano, whose experiences as a former slave would lead to the world's first glimpse of the inhumane conditions of slave ships in his writings and sketches. William Wilberforce, the evangelist and politician who saw to the passing of the anti-slavery legislation in Parliament, was also a major factor in this movement. The abolition movement quickly surged after the landmark decision of Lord Mansfield in the matter of Somerset and Stewart in the year 1772, where it was decided that chattel slavery was unrecognized under common law and that a master could not remove his slave from the jurisdiction against his will. This decision would serve as a radical precedent, going against previous authority that slaves were items of property and may be legally compelled to leave the country with their masters. The Somerset Case was a significant milestone in the abolition movement, whose efforts led to the passage of the Slave Abolition Act of 1833, making slavery illegal throughout the British Empire. Under the Act, emancipation would take place following an apprenticeship period where former slaves over the age of 6 were made to work for their former masters in order to learn a trade, without pay of course, in order to compensate their masters for their loss in a post-slavery era. This apprenticeship period would last until August 1st, 1838, the day in which is now observed as a public holiday in many of the former slave colonies, while others like the Bahamas recognize the first Monday in the August month as Emancipation Day. It is a great time not only to enjoy the island's festivities, but also to remind ourselves of the constant fight to eliminate slavery that continues to exist in some form or fashion in these modern times. We hope that everyone has had a happy and safe holiday. Should you want to contact us, feel free to visit our website at www.loyalx.com.